Welcome back, Alchemist. Mission number 11, if you choose to accept it, could be one of the most powerful missions that we're going to bring you through. This mission is designed around the principle and concept of leveraging other people's groups, other people's networks. So mission number 11 is engaging in local and virtual events. Hanson Camera, if you've been on a few virtual events in your lifetime, Hanson Camera, we're on one right now. So it's cool to be able to teach this and be actually in an event as we're speaking. And then the live events. Who's been to a live event recently in the last, we'll say, 6 months? Awesome. Was that a live event one I was at? Because I saw a lot of you there. It was awesome seeing you guys at Generator Bootcamp. I loved it. So these events are one of the most hidden secrets in the world of building wealth. So many people have heard of meetup.com. Hands if you've heard of meetup.com. Awesome. What about Eventbrite? Have you heard of Eventbrite? Excellent. And then there's this weird thing called Facebook. Facebook has this thing called events. Who's been to a Facebook event? Heard of them? Seen them? Man, we're going to, over the next 2 weeks, untap the power of your own event and other people's events. And by the way, both are necessary. If you really want to skyrocket, you really want to get to the next level. So you have your event to become the authority so that people come to something, you can deliver and add value, but you have other people's events so you can fill up your event. We're catching this? All right. Very good. So we're going to talk about other people's events first. And the reason we go to other people's events before we start our own event is two things. One, we want to learn. We want to identify what are other people doing that really works, that draws people into the event. And then two, we want to identify what can we do that's a little bit better. What can we do to tweak this, to improve this, bells and whistles, or maybe just different speakers, or even sometimes just the format, the flow. Who's been to an event that they thought totally stunk? It was like the worst event ever. Hands if you've been to one of those. We've all been to one of those, right? If you've been to a good event, that means you've been to a bad event. You gotta go through the bad stuff to know the good stuff. So you don't want to do what the bad events do, but you do want to include things that get people excited, that get people interacting with others, and get people coming back again. The worst thing that can ever happen is they go to an event and they never come back. All right, hence, if you've ever been to an event and you went back a bunch of times, you went back over and over and over because there was something about that event that was run really, really well. So you want to be learning and paying attention to those things. Now, 40% of people feel more comfortable engaging with people online than in person. This number has risen over the last century because of the advent of the internet and because of the COVID situation has totally exploded the fact that you and I right now are totally chill with getting on Zoom. We're just we're best friends without having, some of us have not met. Some of us met for the first time last weekend. And yet we have such a tight, close bond. So this is becoming more and more necessary. And I want to give you some skills so you can network in a group like this and be a part of other virtual events, and then eventually create your own virtual events and actually be able to get all of the leads of those events. Is that cool? Is that something you can get down with? Awesome. And before I put any fear into your mind, let me break the fact you don't have to be a public speaker. You don't have to talk fast like me. You don't have to be super smart like me. You don't have to be here are the 3 steps. You don't have to do any of this as long as you acknowledge that somebody else could. As long as you're able to text the person who wants to do that. By the way, dime a dozen. There's so many people out there with books, with courses, with programs, realtors, agents, investors, lenders, attorneys, insurance agents. Everybody wants to speak at the event that you want to host. Hence, if that makes sense. There's a whole world of experts out there. If you go on YouTube, go on Google, TikTok, everybody's an expert. All right. So we understand that the online world is going to be more important than the offline world. But the offline world, where we're actually in person, in contact with each other, has to happen, because those are the moments where relationships are forged the most deeply. When you meet somebody in person, that's where you realize, wow, all these things I logically know about them, now I emotionally can connect to this person. Answer the camera if you've ever experienced that. First time you met somebody in person, you're like, damn, I like you way more than just your Facebook profile. That is a powerful tool, a powerful, impactful tool that you're going to be leveraging. But in order to get them to a live event, these virtual things help tremendously because it gives them a soft way to get to know you better. You are special, you are intelligent, you are helpful, but they don't know until they've gotten a little opportunity to see who you are, hear who you are, kind of feel out your concepts and your business model, what you're looking to do. Hands to camera, if that's okay, if people need a little bit of time to get to know you, absolutely. We're patient. We understand. All right, so I'm gonna give you 6 steps. I love saying it after telling you don't ever have to do this, but I'm gonna give you 6 steps to be a killer when it comes to networking. So how to do this effectively, and as Andrew likes to say all the time, he says, I want to learn things effectively and efficiently. Hands can if you're like that too. You want to learn the effective and efficient way to do things. Excellent. That's the obsession. So step 1, come prepared with a clear goal in mind. You must know why you're there. Grant Cardone has a saying, who has my money, right? Who has my money? When he goes into an event, he's thinking, who here has the thing I'm seeking? Who is my avatar? Who here would know my avatar or be my avatar? And if the event that I'm at doesn't have either one, I'm not at that event ever again. And very rarely will I go to an event based on just the title. Is my avatar going to be there? If the event says how to get rich fast, I'm like, shit, I'll probably show up and be the king, because everybody in there is going to say, well, fast isn't really real. I probably need to build wealth. If something says, how to invest in multifamily, I'll probably show up, because when I go there, I'll be the king because I've been investing in multifamily. I'll be the guy who's attainable, while as the guy on stage is unattainable. Does that make sense? Your knowledge, your expertise, even though there's somebody in the room running this event who's smarter than you, supposedly has a bigger audience than you, supposedly, you can go in and still add value to the middle of the room, to the back of the room, to the side of the room. All the speaker on stage has is the front of the room. Hands can't forget that, right? They got the front 2 rows. All those other rows are like out in limbo. You could be sitting on the side of somebody having a conversation, get a business card, right? I run through TEDx, right? Grant Cardone's event. I'm like learning at the same time networking. Man, I crush the hallways. Man, I don't take bathroom breaks for the sake of just the bathroom. I take bathroom breaks to see who else is taking a bathroom break. Hence, if that makes sense. We're networking. All right. So you got to have an intention, clear goal, why you're there. 2, have some relevant conversation starters. The first couple ones are throwaways. We always make mistakes on the first couple times. And for some reason, even me, expert marketer, been doing this for years, expert networker. Hands came if you ever networked with me before, you see me networking, I'm moving through the room, I'm jiving, I'm having conversations. I'll still make this mistake. I'll say the wrong thing the first time. The people are like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, well, I have this big real estate investment community. Or I'll be like, oh, I'm a real estate investor. Or let's throw something dumb out there. The truth is I build millionaires, right? It's very simple. Like I build millionaires and I do it through either real estate, business, or education. Whichever avenue gets a millionaire built, I'll do whatever it takes to get them there. And now I teach marketing. So like, don't make that mistake. Just get clear about what you're going to say when you get in there. Number 2 is be super clear about who you are and what your relevant conversation starters are going to be. What do you do for a living? Great conversation starter at a business event. What do you do to serve people? Great conversation starter at a business event. If you're at an event that is less business-like, let's say a wedding, how's your year been? What have you been up to? We're catching this? You adjust your conversation starter for the event and have 2 or 3, but make sure that they always lead back to what you're doing for a living. So one of the conversation starters you'd shift into is, hey, by the way, what do you do for a career? Like you're such a cool person. What does this personality come from? What do you do for a living? How do you help people? How do you serve people? Number 3, introduce yourself to someone who is a bigger deal than you. Let the ego go. Whoever the tallest person in the room is, or whoever the richest person in the room is, or whoever's the sharpest dressed person in the room is. Have you ever been in a room and you notice like one person was getting way more attention than everybody else? You just see it, like they talk a little louder, whatever it is, but they start to get that little ring around them. You've seen that, like the ring of people that just shows up all around. We've seen this, yes? Go to that person, introduce yourself immediately. That person now is going to be able to elevate your status. As long as you go there and you see yourself as an equal, as an interested party, not a subservient, oh my God, you're so amazing, I love everything about you, but also not, I'm better than you. Hence can't we grasp somewhere in the middle. A genuinely interested, but respectful and okay with, hey, I get it. You and I are on the same level. I totally understand that you're busy. I just want to come over, say hi, grab a picture with you because I like what you said earlier, or I liked what I was hearing, or I love the way you're dressed. Whatever their attention factor is that's been drawing their attention. Hands camera if we can do this. Genuine compliments, because we genuinely appreciate what they're doing, because we may model that later. We may dress the way they dress. We may raise our voice to talk about something in a room and draw people in if we know the topic is unique. So if I'm in a networking event right now, I may raise my voice and start saying, well, in order to get recession proof, I may pause. I may say it loud and pause and see how many eyes come over. And then I may just pull them in with my hands. Oh, hey, come on in. Oh, come on over. Yeah. That little invitation. Ask Karen if you could do this. We got these skills, right? We're human beings. We could do this. So introduce yourself to someone who's bigger deal than you. 4, ask people questions about themselves. Man, they will give you the code. They will tell you how to sell them. They will tell you how to build a deep relationship with them if you just give people the opportunity. Just ask, how are you? Who are you? Why are you doing the things that you do? What is it that you do? Who should I connect with that you like? Find out those things about them. And why do you like that person? What is it about that person that is attractive to you? Let them sell you on themselves. Let them tell you how to sell. Gather this information. And then when you go to somebody else, next person, you can introduce that person to somebody. Is this making sense? Be the connector. Be the most valuable person in the room, sharing, connecting relationships. 5, ask for what you want. Be clear that it's mutually beneficial. It must be beneficial for both parties. For me, I go in, I say, look, I want to build millionaires. If you want to be a millionaire, you're going to hang with me. If you don't, we're not going to get along, right? And if you're hanging with me, you're going to become a millionaire. I'm going to be happy about it, because all I want to do is hang with millionaires. It's not that millionaires are better than anybody else. It's just that they have a lot of the same things in common. We're going to talk about stocks. We're going to talk about real estate. We're going to talk about business. Hence, if you recognize, just I like to hang with that group of people. I like to hang with people who want to get there. We're going to talk about hustling. We're going to talk about sales. We're going to talk about marketing, things that I have a lot of fun discussing. So I like people who have an ambition to get to millionaire status. So your avatar has to have things about them that you really like, that you want to spend some time with. So ask for what you want. Let them know what you're looking for to serve them. I'm looking to get people into a recession-proof challenge to get them to the next level so that they can tell people that I help them get to the next level. Super clear, right? It's win-win for both people. They're like, dude, you get me recession-proof, I'll tell the world, right? So have a very clear intention that's going to serve both parties when you're speaking to somebody. And just think about, this goes back to your irresistible offer. This goes back to your avatar. This goes back to your marketing. These are all very important components. What could you say to somebody that's going to be so compelling that they're like, damn, I got to know Nathan Graham. Like this cat knows his thing, right? Yolanda is like I'm lucky to know Yolanda, right? Robbie just hooked me up with this conversation. By the way, Robbie, I know you and I booked a call the other day. For some reason, it wasn't on my calendar. So please shoot me a text and let's rebook that. Deepest apologies, my friend. I will jump on with you.
No worries.
Thank you. And number 6, exit the conversation gracefully. We don't need more than 5 minutes with a person in order to build a deep relationship. If you're effective with your conversation, if you're effective with your texting, you're getting their contact information, then all you have to be in there is in and out in 2 minutes. And this is how you do it without being disrespectful, while being graceful, if you will. I am here to network with as many great people as I can. I believe that you're one of them. Please tell me about yourself. I'm only going to be here for about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to move to the next person. If you're down, I would love to bring you with me. But if you have other people you want to connect with, absolutely. But I want to at least get a little bit about you, and I want to be able to schedule something later to connect with you. Is that okay? And that you just move to the next person, move to the next person, move to the next person. Does that make sense? Set the context that you're here to network, because guess why they're there? To network. They're also there to network. They're all like, you're just reminding them to be efficient about what they're doing and showing them a path to do it as well. Hey, let's see how many people we can connect with. You go down that side of the room. I'll go down this side of the room. We can match our notes later. You let me know about this person. I'll let you know about that person. Hence the camera if this is making sense. You can build an army of networkers within a couple of conversations and get everybody's contact information in the room by splitting up, dividing and conquering, and trusting people to help you along the way. This is a skill that you learn. Nobody will be born with it. Nobody will go to the first event and be like, raising an army of people who are networking with them. Hand scan if that's all right. Okay, there are ways to do this virtually as well. And when we get over to having your own room, there are sneaky ways that are really, really cool that you can actually get somebody's contact information just from having them show up in this Zoom room. Hands to camera if you remember surveys. Remember I was talking about surveys, forms? Okay. Would you like to see a little behind the scenes of something I actually just discovered that I didn't even know existed in Zoom? All right. So I'm going to share really quick. But before I do, if you're watching this and you want to get access to that, I'll probably have somebody put this video somewhere. Mission 11, if you choose to accept it, is to continue with your 10. Make sure you're doing your 10 contacts, 10 reaches out. It could be text, it could be messaging on Facebook, it could be a phone call, 10 contacts to new contacts. That's 300 after 30 days. But today we're reaching out to 10. Only 4 of those deserve to be entered into your database. It'll average out, but about 4 people every day will end up in your database. Those are people who fit your avatar. They're the kind of person who has money, the desire to do what you're doing, and they have the ability to pay. So make sure it's and you like them. Really important. Those 4 people go in your database. You're reading 10 pages in one of our killer books. Those 3 books were designed, chosen so that you can get to the next level with the only thing that matters, your network, because your network is your net worth. And then make sure that you're putting out a post on Facebook because it's not about who you know. It's about who knows you and what they know you for so that when it's time, they can call you and pay for you. I love doing this. I feel like Mr. Rogers with the shoe, except I got all the money in my hand. So mission 11, if you choose to accept it, is to go forth. It is to network either virtually or in person. And let me share how to do this virtually. If you're on somebody else's room, anybody been on a room and did not know how to network with that room, like just in a Zoom room and like, how do I get access to all these people? Look at all these people. They're the greatest people on the planet, but I don't know how to get to them. The little chat box on the side there, when you open it up, the participants tab, you get all the names. The first thing I do is I take a screenshot of all the faces. I make sure everybody who's on this event, I get the screenshot. So I'll do it for you right now. I'll go to my screen shared tooltip thing. I'll come over here. I'll hit this, and then I'll bring it to new, and then I'll grab wherever all the people are. Actually, I got to close that because I didn't have the people open. There we are. So hit new, and I grab this. So see how everybody's name and face is there? Hands can if you can see this, name and face. And it's so easy to find them now on Facebook or LinkedIn. So I would take that, I would go over to the platform and I'd search for them. And I would do the same thing with the participants tab, which is now somewhere else. Here it is. So the participants tab is sitting here. Can you see the participants tab or do I have to screenshot this? No. Okay. All right. So let me screenshot this. Boom. It's sitting here like that. See it now? So I'll grab that because not everybody puts their cameras on. But I do want to identify who put their cameras on, who didn't put their cameras on. Shy people, I'm probably not going to talk to anyway. I'm only interested in the people who are like bold enough to go and put a camera on because that's the only people I'm going to actually get along with. Hands camera, if that makes sense. Or if they're like just passively in the room, they're not really engaging. They're probably going to be passive with my money too. Like sending me money. It'd probably be a little hard to get that capital from them. So always turn your cameras on, right? It makes it easier for people to see you. You're branding yourself. But again, it's not about how many people that you know. It's about how many people know you. Recognize your face, see it all over the place. By the way, everybody in this challenge is so freaking smart to have your cameras on right now because this is being streamed on Facebook in a group that is going to have hundreds of people over the next couple of months coming through it and seeing you. So people ask questions, obviously, very smart people. The next step is that little chat box. I will go and I will message each and every person in that chat with a text that says, hey, I see you, you're in here. I know we don't have time to talk now. Would you be interested in booking a call with me later this week? Here's my link. And I will copy and paste that and jam all the way through the chat. Now, what I'm going to ask, I did just say this, do not do this to everybody on the 52 Weeks to Wealth unless you mean to add absolute value to them. Because that is my very special community. I care deeply about every one of those people. I'm building millionaires. I've been working with them for the last 3 years. So when you're in it, you can have conversations with them by all means. You can invite them to have one-on-one calls. But if you don't believe you're genuinely there to add value to them, please do not message people. In fact, don't do this in any group if you're not genuinely there to add value to them. Does that make sense? Excellent. And the reason I say do this is because I genuinely do want more people connected. I think all the money is in relationships. I think all the money is in connections. So the more people you know, the better off you are. Now, by all means, do it in the 52 weeks to wealth, as long as you're committed to serving those people. Serve my millionaires, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. I love the idea of seeing you go out there and see if you can help my people get even richer. Hands can if you commit to making others rich. Yeah. Yeah. I see some of my millionaires on the call right now. They're like, fuck yeah, sign me up for that. The more people you help, the more you will have. Help people who have a lot of money, get more money, and you will have a lot of the money that is coming through. Does that make sense? Save their time, save them money, save them energy. You'll get a piece of that too. Awesome. So we're going to, mission number 11. This message will not self-destruct, but your business might if you don't take action on it. Cheers to your success. We'll see you on the next call.